Players unite. Should I make that the new intro of this series? Guys, what is up, everybody? What is up? Welcome back to another YAP session. If you don't know this series here, it's pretty much where we talk about a certain topic in Pokemon Go. And today, obviously you've read the title, we're talking about players being banned in Pokemon Go. This was something that happened last week. Before we get into that though, we have to address the elephant in the room. These glasses, are these not insane? If you didn't remember, in the last YAP session, I told you guys I was going to a country festival last weekend and I got these glasses from them for free, on free glasses, these orange glasses. And it's actually, this is what I tell people, life just looks better. Can you guys see? Like, look how much better life looks. Look how orange I am. So these might be my new favorite glasses. They honestly look like Trainer Tips glasses. Looks like something Trainer Tips would wear. But yeah, honestly, I guess we just start with a fit check before we get into the serious stuff, because this is a serious conversation. This is a serious thing Niantic decided to do that has since then been resolved. I will say that. Players are no longer getting banned, at least I think, kind of. It's a situation. I'm going to explain in a second. But we have the fit check. We're actually wearing the Mystic 7 Shiny Luck merch today. You know, now, okay, I don't want to give free advertising out here, but all I'm going to say is one of my biggest concerns on why I don't, like, I'm not saying I don't want to do merch. A lot of you guys want to see me do merch. I'm so off topic already. It's insane. Whatever. This is happening. I'm talking about this. I don't like trash quality merch that you wear 3 times and then you're literally just wearing a bunch of strings that are falling apart. I don't like that. But Mystic 7, look, granted I've only worn it once, this actually feels like decent quality stuff. It's a little embroidered shiny like patch as well. I like when it's embroidered and not printed on. Not bad. I'm not saying buy shiny like merch. I'm not saying go with the Mystic 7 merch, but I'm just saying, hey, you know what, Brandon, you did a good job. I respect it. I like it. And we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on how long it lasts, because that's always the question with merch is like, you know, it's cool to support your creators and people, but like if I'm going to buy something, I want to be able to wear it, you know? So we're going to see how long this lasts. I also have this bag here, which, like, I'm not trying to say a Pokédaxi bag is coming, but this potentially is a sample for a Pokédaxi bag. Very early stages and stuff. Look, you didn't hear it from me. But Pokédaxi bags too? Anyway, today we're talking about getting banned in Pokemon Go and players getting false bans or getting bans for just playing the game normally. And it all has to do with Team Rocket. Now, last week, if you don't know, let me actually open up my Pokemon Go app right now before I yap for too long. Now, last week, if you don't know, was the Team Go Rocket event. We were here at Arboretum, by the way, which is always a great spot to play, as you can see by the beautiful Pokestops and it's actually insane how many Pokestops are in here. Yeah, last week was the Team Go Rocket event. I didn't really play much. Again, I was at the country festival, which was amazing, super fun. I'm a little bit tired now. I've been sleeping like 9-10 hours every single night since it because got no sleep. We slept in the back of the Subaru. It actually was pretty nice. Nonetheless, last week was the Team Rocket event, and someone ended up found out, or Niantic ended up adding this thing called a ban for playing or for clicking on too many Team Go Rocket grunts. You could actually get banned. It's not like a temp ban. It is a temporary ban, but it's not like a, hey, like you can still do other things in the game. No, your account is locked. Your account gets fully locked for 7 days. And this is a ban that a bunch of players experienced. I was getting people in my comments talking about it. People were like, Dax, can you make a video about the bans? Can you make a video about the bans? I'm making a video about the bans. The bans. Sounds like I'm rich on money. And yeah, it's a little bit insane. So let me go find a spot to sit down. I'm going to explain the whole situation. Zoe already made a video on it, so some of you guys might already know what it is. But I do want to not only explain for people who don't know, but also give my thoughts on it, because I do have different thoughts than Zoe about it. And just it's just an interesting situation that I think we do have to talk about. Actually, funny enough, this week's episode was supposed to be English, Dax. It was supposed to be about the new Niantic terms of service, because people want me to make a video on that. That video will come. I will probably do that next week and talk about that. But this is more important because it's more recent. Yeah, players getting banned for literally playing Pokemon Go. Like it's actually kind of insane. I think of a scenario. I'm going to explain in a second, but I think of a scenario. Imagine you're just playing Pokemon Go normally and then you just get banned for doing something too much. That's just crazy. Anyway, I'm going to go sit down on actually this bench right behind me and let's talk about it. Yeah, let's talk about it. Did I get anything cool I can show you guys, by the way? No. Cool. Well. Okay, let me go sit. Okay, so look, to understand this ban, you have to first understand that, what do you have to understand? You have to understand the quadratic formula. No, I'm kidding. You have to understand that there has always been limits in Pokemon Go on certain actions. Now, specifically, there's been limits like the catch cap, which I actually have statistical numbers here about it. The catch cap and the, what's the other? There's another cap, but like you can only catch 4,800 Pokemon a day, 33,600 Pokemon a week. You can only spin 1,200 Pokestops in a 24-hour period and spin 7,000 Pokestops a week. So there's always been limits to certain things in Pokemon Go. And Niantic decided to add a limit for Team Go Rocket Grunts. Now, the main reason they did this, well, specifically the Team Rocket event was starting, so they wanted to kind of release it along with the Team Go Rocket event that was starting. This camera is way too low. I'm gonna put this up. But also, I think Niantic kept seeing a lot of trainers and a lot of like, who are those people? A lot of, specifically, I'm not gonna try to say the S word, but you know, cheaters, let's just say, who would abuse Team Go Rocket Grunts. Now there's different ways to abuse Team Go Rocket Grunts, but you can pretty much, there's certain people who are able to do a lot of Team Go Rockets at an accelerated pace. Let me just put it that way. Just imagine that in your head, which is obviously unfair, right? Because, well, first of all, they're cheating in the first place, but it's unfair to be able to do a lot of Team Go Rocket Grunts really, really quickly, check a lot of Shadow Pokemon, because you're gonna end up getting the better Shadow Pokemon, and especially when you're just sitting at home doing this. Again, so I don't wanna talk about too much about what is happening, but pretty much to think about it, there's cheaters, and Niantic wants to put a ban on it, or a cap, not a ban, a cap on it, so you can't do too many of them without getting limited. And that's pretty much their way of preventing cheaters in Pokemon Go. And they've done this again with the catch cap, with the spin cap. All this stuff is in game so people don't catch too many Pokemon and can't just like, you know, farm the game unlimited if there's no limits like, you know, walking and different things like that. So Niantic decided to add that. Now, the number Niantic decided to add was very, very low when they first added this ban, this limit to the game. They ended up adding a limit of 160 grunts, and I believe it's an hour. Now, someone can correct me in the comment section below. If it's in an hour, I think that's the most reasonable. If it's in more than an hour, I think that's even more ridiculous. Like, imagine you can only do 160 grunts in 24 hours. Now, for the most majority of you guys are probably not worried about this. You're like, 160 grunts? I don't even battle more than 10 a day. You know what? For you, I give you a thumbs up. I say that's perfect for you. But hardcore players who really want to grind a Team Go Rocket event, players who generally play casual, but during Team Go Rocket events, really, really grind and push and play 8 hours a day, 160 grunts in an hour? Or I don't know if it's an hour or 24 hours. It's not hard to push. Now, what I will say though, is I want to be specific with this limit. This limit is not, this is not a 160 grunts battled. This is 160 grunts clicked on in an hour. So theoretically, let's just say, okay, there's no grunt here, but let's role play a little. Let's say this Pokestop has a grunt, I click in on it, that counts as 1. Even if I don't battle, even if I back out. So if I click in again, that counts as 2, 3. So if I just do this 160 times, like that, I've hit the limit. Now, the thing with this limit, you might be like, okay, Dax, that's fine. There's been a limit in Pokemon Go. We have the spin cap, catch cap, all that stuff you've already explained. We have a PvP cap. You can only do 25 battles a day, all that. This limit would get you banned, would literally get you a 7-day ban in Pokemon Go. I had so many people tagging me on Twitter. I had people adding in my comment section. This was actually all found. Oh, I really want to credit the guy correctly. I'm going to find it. This was actually all found and tested by the person that Zoe credited in her video on a Reddit post, who actually did this on new accounts to test it, to see if it is. This guy here, it's Faladine. So Faladine tested this on Reddit, on new accounts, to see what the limit was, and found that after 160 clicking in and out of grunts, whether you battle them or not, your account will get a 7-day temp ban. That's crazy. And when I say a 7-day temp ban, it's not like you can, it's literally your account is locked out. It says, I think you get a screen that says, hey, your account has been suspended for 7 days, come back in 7 days and you'll be able to play again. So if you get banned on day 1 of the Team Go Rocket event, you are not playing the Team Go Rocket event, because you can't even log into the account, which is like, honestly, absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So this obviously was a huge outrage. Everyone was super mad. Zoe made her video, which is great, because the number one thing I was scared about with this is that if there's no awareness of this, there's probably players who are doing this by complete accident. They're not cheaters. They're not hardcore players that are really grinding. They're just like out there playing the game. You're just playing the game and you get a 7-day ban. And that's the main issue I have with this, is like, players should never really be getting banned for just casually playing the game. Like, they should be like getting banned when they know intentionally that they are like cheating or they're playing too hard, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, this is a situation where, because of this 160 clicks ban, there could be someone walking through a park, clicking to see, because they don't want to battle every single Team Rocket grunt. They want to find, you know, the rock grunt or the ground grunt or whatever, because they're hunting a specific shadow. They could walk through their park with a lot of stops, click 160, and then get a ban and be like, what? Why did I get banned? I literally didn't do anything. I don't use third-party auto catchers, etc., etc. So it's a little bit ridiculous. Now, I made a live stream, the Team Rocket event, and I got the most mixed comments. I think this was like day 2 or day 3 of the team. No, this was day 1 of the Team Rocket event, or day 2 or 3, I'm not sure. And everyone in the comments were like, the ban's fixed, the ban's not fixed, the ban's fixed. So I got a huge, I guess like mixed of results in the comments. I got banned on purpose, so you don't have to. So this is the Reddit post here. But then I found the Reddit post. Oh, this is the wrong Reddit post. I found the Reddit post. I got purpose, so you don't have to, pokemongo. I found the Reddit post, and pretty much Faladine did a test. I don't really know when this was. Does it show me when it was updated? Probably a little bit into the event. And he said here, after my 5th test failed to provide a ban, I loaded a new account to confirm whether or not the limit is still there. Honestly, lost count of how many taps it took, and I lost count after 420-ish minutes. So he tapped on 400 grunts in 20-ish minutes, and he never got a ban. Is that it was still tapping 10 minutes later before the new account got hit with a ban. So pretty much the limit has been drastically increased, which is good. 400 in 20-ish minutes. He was tapping for 30-ish minutes, probably ended up doing 600 taps. So if you click on 600 grunts in and out I don't know if it's 30 minutes or if it's in an hour, then your account will get banned now. So that's what the new limit is. But I think that's much more reasonable, and that's a much more better way to do it. So if this is a concern of yours and you're scared to get banned, it has been lifted based on Faladine's test, which honestly, huge shout out to Faladine. I want to say huge shout out to anyone who in the community does this stuff for completely free, because Faladine did not have to go out, do all these tests to see what the limit is, what the ban cap is, and just check this, because he's pretty much doing the community a favor, because there's probably a lot of people who read this now and can prevent their account getting banned for 7 days, because they now know, hey, if I overplay or I over tap on grunts, my account can get banned. So huge shout out to Faladine for testing this. The limit seems to be a lot higher now, which is really, really good. Seems like it's at 600. So again, I don't know if it's 600 an hour or 630 minutes, but still 600 in an hour is hard to do. What is that? 600 in an hour is like, what's the math on that? Isn't that 1 every like minute or every second? Not 100% sure. I don't know math. Math is not my thing. But yeah, honestly, huge shout out to Faladine for testing that, checking that out. And yeah, the limits does seem to be increased. Now, the question does bear, like, do I think, why do I like look like I think I'm so cool, huh? I'm just like sitting back. Like, do I think, cocky in nature, ugh, life. Do I think that this is a good way for Niantic to prevent this? Because at the end of the day, I do agree with stopping cheaters, stopping people from overplaying the game or being able to like abuse different, get off me bug, abuse different systems in the game. And what do I think are some alternative options to this? Because like the ban is a good thing, but I think there's other ways you could potentially fix this problem. Now, I wrote down a couple different options in my opinion. The first one is to have no ban, just have it how it was before, because before there was no ban, right? There was no, there was no ban on how many grunts you could tap on. At least I don't know of before you're playing. And there's different aspects in the game that also don't have a ban, I think. Is there? Like gym battles, there's no limit on gym battles. There's no limit on how many raids you can do. All that stuff has no ban. So why is there a limit on how many grunts you can battle, right? So that is definitely an option. Niantic definitely wants to even the playing field, though, which is always a good thing. So adding a ban, I think, is also a good option. Because if you don't add a ban, yes, no one ever gets punished, but it lets some people just abuse the system. You know, it's a weird balance of like stopping the abusers without preventing the casual, honest players to get access to it. So that brings us into the option to have a ban. Now, the first one, in my opinion, is to, instead of adding a tapping ban, add a battle ban. Like, why is the ban, when I click into a grunt, that counts as 1, that counts as 2? Why is that part of the count? You know what I mean? I think the ban should actually be on the battling. You know, when you battle a certain grunt, that counts as one. And I think that is a better way to, I guess, ban the system, because it'll allow, you know, like the cheaters who are going to abuse the system and battle a lot of grunts to get the good IV shadow Pokemon, or battle a lot of specific types of grunts, are going to get banned because they've battled too many. But then the regular players, like, it's physically impossible to battle a crazy amount of grunts without, you know, methods. It's physically impossible as a legit player. So I think that would be a much better way to add a ban. Number 3, add a much higher cap. The cap right now is 600, which is, you know, a good amount. I think it is a good cap to have. But if you add like a cap of, I don't know, 800 or something that physically a casual player could never achieve, but a cheater could achieve, that is just the best middle ground. 106, first of all, I'm sorry, whoever came up with the number 160 at the start when this ban first came out, it's a bit ludicrous of a number, but definitely think increasing the cap, increasing the number could be good. I think 600 is a decent amount. We can stick at that, but if we still see accounts getting banned, yeah, I think that should be a limit. If we still see casual or regular honest players' accounts being banned, then I think we could definitely increase it. And then finally, and honestly, this is my number one thing, is why does it result in a 7-day ban? You know, that's my real question. Like, we've never seen a limit in Pokemon Go where trainers get banned for doing it. You know, like, I think obviously there's limits in like GPSing and stuff, and if your account is getting flagged for cheating and GPS spoofing, that's one thing. And that's completely legit. But like, if I tap on 160 grunts, I should not be getting a 7-day temp ban. I should be getting a rate limit or a catch cap limit where every time I click on a grunt, it says try again later in 24 hours or in an hour. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know why Niantic is deciding now to add a full-on ban. And if they do add a ban, why are they not adding a 7-day ban for the catch cap now? You know, if you catch 4,800 Pokemon in a day, why do you don't get a 7-day ban? It's kind of like just weird, like, for this, we're going to do this. For that, we're going to do that. Like, keep it consistent, you know? Like, if someone does battle 160 grunts, they should not get a 7-day ban. The game should just say, hey, try again later. You're not allowed to battle grunts right now. You can play other aspects of the game, but you can't battle grunts. In my opinion, I think that would be just a better way to do it. I don't really know why we have to throw in permabans in here. But at the end of the day, I do understand, and I do want to make note of how hard it is actually as Niantic to regulate cheating, because cheating is a thing that happens in every game, and cheaters get smart and they find ways around, and regulating cheating is not an easy thing at all. So Niantic is doing what they can, and I do appreciate that, because at the end of the day, a game with cheaters is never going to be a good game. It ruins it for everyone else. So I do appreciate Niantic trying their best. I do think there are better ways to do it. At the end of the day, I am happy with the compromise we've come to of 600 taps, you know, but I do hope that it does mean that the cheaters are the ones getting banned and not regular average Joes that are just trying to enjoy Team Go Rocket and want to grind a bunch of grunts. Maybe as a hardcore player, you know what I mean? Like, they should not be the ones getting penalized, in my opinion. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the whole subject. I do have another thing I want to talk about, bans, because there are some other bans going down. But yeah, I don't know. If you don't know the situation, that's the situation. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below on what you think of it, and if you experience it, because actually the best way to know more about this situation and know, I guess, some more details is if anyone here has actually gotten this ban or got this ban. I guess it's over now because the Team Go Rocket event is over. Oh wow, life just got a lot more boring because I took off my sunglasses. Yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go find a new spot. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about something else that's been kind of interesting in the community. Let's go. Okay, look to the sky. I'm gonna lie down, first of all. Oh, this bench is so uncomfortable. Oh, that's a nice looking sun right there. Okay, hopefully I am not, like, what's the best way to like lie? You think like with a knee up? That's kind of like a little bit, ooh. Okay, no, look, let's talk more about bans. Now, bans in Pokemon Go has always been a thing. And I want to give, who do I want to give? I want to give Niantic the benefit of the doubt, in which they are usually accurate when they're banning people for things like, you you know, cheating, auto catchers. Granted, I've actually never really seen a confirmed case of that, but auto catchers, what else? Just other reasons you get banned. I'll just say cheating as a whole. But I've seen a lot of cases where people have come to me and they're like players that like I honestly like trust. Now I honestly trust. And again, this is why I say I want to give Niantic the benefit of the doubt. But I honestly trust. And I'm like, yeah, this person would never cheat. Or I've played many times with this person and they haven't cheated. Or like I haven't seen them cheat or do anything like sussy. You know, they're not doing any sussy activities in Pokemon Go. But they still end up showing me like, oh, I got 7-day ban or I got randomly banned. The amount of DMs I get in my comments where people are like, Dax, I got randomly banned. Can you unban me or can you help me? First thing I'm going to say is I don't work for Niantic, so I cannot, there's nothing I can do. You guys have to go through the help support here, help at the top right, and then you can contact Niantic support here with the chat, or you can reach out. I think they have an email too if you get falsely banned. But I think Niantic, like, I don't know. Specifically, I want to talk about one situation where my editor, Becky, who, like, oh my God, that squirrel almost just jumped on me. My editor, Becky, who edits all the tips videos, shout out to Becky, she was randomly, like, she just randomly said, yo, my account got a 7-day ban. Now, again, I want to give Becky the benefit of the doubt because I do not think Becky's a cheater. First of all, she's spending all her time editing the tips video, so I don't know when she would even have time to cheat. But, like, why is she getting a random, like, 7-day ban in Pokemon Go? And this scenario has come up over and over again where players are randomly getting a 7-day ban. Now, it's a very inconspicuous situation that I can't really speak too much on because at the end of the day, these people could be cheating. They could have done something sussy that, I gotta stop using the word sussy. They could have done something weird that Niantic's anti-cheat system has recognized and flagged them for, and that's why they got a ban. But also at the same time, I feel like Niantic's anti-cheat system either needs an update or something because it's banning people randomly that have never been banned. Now, some of you guys are probably going to be like, I've been a legit player, I've never been banned, blah, blah, blah. But some of you guys also might have experienced this firsthand, and I want to hear your stories below. If you've been falsely banned, and now please be honest. Again, the problem with this whole situation, in my opinion, is like, someone can be, like, I've seen this so much, but people are like, oh my God, my account got banned, like, Dax, help me unban it. I'm like, okay, well, like, what did you do? And they're like, oh, nothing, I just used cheats. And like, I laugh, you know? But then sometimes there's situations where, again, the person could be bold-faced lying to my face. To be honest, I'm not really good at spotting a liar. I'm pretty bad at that. But like, someone could be bold-faced lying to my face, or someone could be bold-faced lying, but they also could just be being completely honest, say, hey, Dax, look, I just got a 7-day ban. I am the most legit player ever. I haven't even used a third-party auto catcher, and my account still got banned. So that's kind of like just something there's really no solution here. This is just me yapping about anything, but like, it's always weird. And I think the best way to just kind of, I guess, get more information on this is please be honest in the comments. Drop your situation. If you've ever been falsely banned if you've ever been falsely banned, like, let me know in the comment section below what happened and if you have any idea on why you think it happened. Because I think there is like situations where you've been falsely banned. Like, I've heard situations of people who, you know, one day they're in New York and then they take a 20-hour flight to a new city and they open their game, and then they get like a ban. And that's because Niantic's anti-cheat system probably thinks that you're, you know, teleporting, even though you're actually just flying places. So that's like kind of like makes sense. But like, sometimes people get falsely banned for, like, you know, no reason, or they can't really put a finger on a reason. And I don't think that should be happening in Pokemon Go. Now, again, I got to go back and say, like, you know, it is hard. You do have to give the benefit of to Niantic. It is hard to handle cheating and all these accounts and the cheaters getting smarter and all that stuff, but it does suck. It does suck for majority of players, because at the end of the day, I don't want people getting punished who haven't done anything wrong, right? The people who've done things wrong should be the ones getting punished, lessons being learned. But the people who aren't getting anything wrong, because that just kills motivation. Like, if you're just playing the game and your account gets banned, or if you're just playing the game, you tap 160 grunts and you get a 7-day ban, like, you're like, why? Why am I getting punished? Like, it doesn't motivate you to play the game. It just drops your motivation, in my opinion. So definitely go ahead. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments about that, you know. And yeah, like, I don't know. I don't even know. I feel like I'm all yapped out right now. Oh, there's a person walking their bike over there. I'm gonna put my sunglasses back on. Okay, nonetheless, let's end this episode here. Oh my God, I just man-spreaded so hard. Man-spread, what a word of the 20th century, huh? It's just like when men like do this. Sorry if I'm making you guys uncomfortable with my man-spreading. Okay, let's go back though to the last video and let's take a look at the comments here, because I always ask you guys to comment your opinions, and I'm gonna ask you right now, comment your opinions below on this topic, because I always like to read out a couple of them at the end of the epi. Did I say epi, like EpiPen? Look, the topic of last episode, by the way, for anyone who doesn't remember, is Niantic finalists in the community. We talked about Mega Rayquaza Raid Day and Mega Lucario Raid Day, and whether it meant that Niantic is adding some big dubs. Also, the funniest thing for me is when I get Pokemon Go ads on my own videos. Like, brother, I think everybody who watches my videos knows what Pokemon Go is. Okay, anyway, if Niantic was listening to the Avatar update, wouldn't look busted at all. This is a great point, and this has reminded me. I'm gonna make a video, I'm gonna make a YAP session on the Avatar update, because I made one so long ago about how the Avatar update sucked, but give Niantic time. And I feel like we've given Niantic a decent amount of time, and there hasn't been any changes. The Avatar update is still mid, so I don't know. The Avatar update might just be what it is to stay forever. It's so bad, oh God. Niantic realizing players spend money on things they've been wanting or asking for in the game. Honestly, I hope they do realize, Miguel, because that means we're gonna get more stuff that's actually worthwhile. Look, my boy Curtis says, bring back weekly research legendary Pokemon. We get a free raid pass every day, so it's not like Niantic will lose any money from this, but that was a single base motivator for me back in the day to complete research task every day. I fully agree. This was honestly one of the biggest L's and the biggest confusing L's on why Niantic removed this from the game. If you don't know, that is a wasp. Dude, if I get stung by a wasp, no, you're not doing this, bro. If I get stung by a wasp during my own YAP session, that might be the biggest fumble I've ever seen. Is it in my hair now? Don't sting me. Okay, we're back. Yes, 100% bring back legendaries from the research breakthrough box. That would be huge. Mega legendaries are actually tier 7 raids. Oh, sorry, this is just someone correcting me, okay. Your cart should not sound like a brother. Silly peasant's father must not be a member of the yacht club. Oh yeah, I thought this was funny. Honestly, sometimes I yap. I probably shouldn't have said what I said. Sometimes I yap and say random things. Apologies for making fun of that man's car. A car is better than no car. They need to put out more Rare XL Candies event. That's a dog. A lot of useless mythicals and legendaries you can't level 50. I agree, and that's why I was so hyped about the guaranteed Rare XL Candies from catching Lucarios. I hope they do that again, just because it's such a great update. It's such a great thing because Rare XL Candies need to be more accessible, in my opinion. Watching this after people getting banned for doing grunts during Team Rocket is wild. Yes, 100%, and that's why we made a video on this right now. Again, by the way, my YAP sessions, I record like 3-4 days in advance, so if anything happens and then like the YAP session doesn't really make sense anymore, that's why, because they're, recorded in advance. I almost had a Disney princess moment. Yeah, that's when the squirrel came. My only gripe with the makeup Rayquaza was that the energy rewards were effectively halved as compared to the elite runs. I was fortunate enough to do elite ones, but my friends aren't willing to do a 10-ish to secure enough energy in lieu, I love that word, of missing the elite raid. I agree. I think it does make sense though at the end of the day, because it's so much easier to do mega regular raids, like because you can remote them and stuff, and it's not elite raids, so there's just so many more. So I think it kind of does make sense. It's definitely a gripe, and we wish that we got everything for free, but I think this is a situation where Niantic actually kind of balanced it correctly, in my opinion. What is this? Niantic Mega Rayquaza Raid Day, Mega Rayquaza Pay to Raid Day. I wish it was a raid day from the start. That would have been amazing. Is there any words? Let me see if I can find any comments. Here's an interesting to talk about. Niantic Wayfair, how difficult is it to get okay, so I actually wrote this down. This was an idea for another video. Don't mean to be cynical, but I truly believe it's a combination of money and listening. Regardless of a company's mission statement, their ultimate goal is to make money. The only change they've made that losses them money is remote raid passes. I agree with this, Howard, but also the remote raid pass change has been a huge money loss. So I think Niantic does have, like, I'm not gonna say a noble cause, but like, they do stick to their cause, and I don't, like, money is necessary for their business, but I really don't think Niantic's money source from Pokemon Go, like, their main money source I don't think is from, no, what am I trying to say? That's not what I'm trying to say. Their main money source is from Pokemon Go, but making the remote raid pass change just shows, in my opinion, that they're not 100% all about money. because that, like, dude, the amount of money they lost on the remote raid pass change is incredible. They lost billions of dollars. Maybe not billions, millions, probably billions. They lost so much money. So the fact that they made that change makes me think that, yes, it could be a combination of money and listening, but I do truly believe that Niantic, like, they follow their mission statement more than they follow money. And yes, at the end of the day, they do need money to keep it afloat, but I think Niantic only cares about getting enough money to keep Pokemon Go afloat, and obviously have like a little extra to pay your employees and all that stuff. But then, like, they don't need like astronomical amounts of money. They just want their mission statement to stay followed. This is the most noisy park ever. Sorry, Caro. They're not listening if you're trying to appeal to anything. Ban appeal is the only automatic response without any action. You're getting the same message even if you create a new account with a new email that has no strike or ban. Still the same message that you violated TSO and that you will be ignored. If you contact the help desk in other way, they still don't do anything. They just tell you that don't cheat and you'll be okay. This Pokestop limit showed us why we need an option to communicate. You'll get the option to appeal. You need the option to appeal, and there's a way to get a fair check if you really cheated. Yeah, and I agree with this. Honestly, like, a ban appeal would be great, and I think it would, that thing we were talking about earlier, I think it would really, holy man spread, it would really prevent that issue earlier where people are getting falsely banned, because the people who are actually not cheating and just got a false ban couldn't actually appeal it. Meanwhile, the people who cheated and they're like, oh, I didn't actually cheat, blah, 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 they can appeal it, but then they're just gonna they're gonna stay banned because, you know, the appeal is gonna go through not in their favor, in my opinion. So I definitely think that could be, what is going on right now? That could be a great system. Granted, I don't really see Niantic adding that because, you know, I don't know. I just, maybe they'll add it. I doubt it though. I don't think Niantic really wants to add any more support towards cheaters. You know, I think they just want cheaters gone. And like, they don't want to add it because it's a weird situation where you have a ban appeal. It's like, it's going to be abused. You're scared of it being abused, right? Like, you want to add a ban appeal to help the people who got falsely banned, but you also want to trust your ban system that it won't, you want to trust your banning system that it won't ban the wrong people. So it's kind of like almost contradictory, if that makes sense. Like, by adding a ban appeal system, you're saying that your system, that your ban system doesn't always work, you know? I don't know. Random thought. I don't know if they'll add it. We'll see. I think the next improvement when it comes to rating should be allowing 5 remotes on shadow raids as a cap, so that remote people can get at least them on. I agree, Marco. I don't know if 5 they would do 5, but I could definitely see them doing like, hey, you can remote 2 shadow legendaries. That would be great. Community days only being 3 hours is ridiculous, and I'm glad to hear you agree. It's like being limited to 2 to 5 p.m. when it's usually when my ADHD meds have started wearing off. Is a very rough time. That does sound like a rough time. I don't have the capacity to do the catching needed in time to get enough XLs, and if it was back to 11 to 5, I mean, it'd be so much easier. So I literally can't read. I'd mean so much for me, especially if it's a way for Belgium Community Day, so I can hopefully get a Shundo, if not a 98 Shiny. Since I've never got a Shundo, I'm doubtful ever will. Hey, have confidence. Honestly, I agree. Like 11 to 5s are just better for time. For events, in my opinion. I think Niantic should add more 11 to 5 events. Will they? Who knows? But it is a good start with the raid day, and hopefully we see community days go to 11 to 5 again. Will they go back? Who knows? But hopefully. Okay, next. My girlfriend hurt her foot, and we were very limited on how many Shadow Lugia raids we can do this weekend. The game just ultimately needs to consider things like injury accessibility while making changes to the game. Yes, it's a game about going outside and exploring, but why is essentially off limits people with mobility issues is beyond me. I agree with that. Niantic's never added support for people with disabilities. The reason that I've understood on why is just that, like, the second Niantic sees it as the second they start adding limits for accessibility issues, they're going to start getting abused by people who don't have accessibility issues, and it's going to get limited. Also, I think Niantic thinks that Pokemon Go is a game where you have to be active and moving and stuff like that. And I don't know. I don't want to say they don't want to support people with, like, accessibility issues, but maybe they just don't want those types of people playing Pokemon Go. That's a huge statement and a huge, like, assumption to make. But based on what Niantic's actions have done, you know, they haven't really added a lot of support for accessibility. And it's like this statement where, like, if you support accessibility, people who, you know, already have accessible options are going to abuse those support systems, you know. So it's like this balance, and, like, again, Niantic, maybe they just don't want to support them. Maybe they just are like, it's Pokemon Go. It's meant to be like active walking, all that stuff. And again, it's an assumption. I'm not trying to put words in Niantic's mouth, but based on actions we've seen from Niantic, there's not a lot of support going down for people with injuries or, wheelchairs or different, blindness, stuff like that. Lucario did have a mistake in it. The first few time zones didn't have the bonuses turned on. Oh, damn, really? However, Niantic still had a win. They gave us a second day with Mega Lucario raids with the bonus turned on and gave everyone 18 raid passes, which allowed even those who hadn't bought the ticket to smash out Lucario raids on Sunday. I was reading with someone that had got a ticket on Sunday, and they were super happy. They realized it was 18 free passes. Nice. Oh, really? I didn't know that there was issues, but I'm glad they actually added that change. I actually wish the Shadow Raid weekends in the 3 to 6 hour raid day event for both days, as finding Shadow Legendaries, also enough people to take them down, is a big issue if you don't live in if you don't live in a populace. If you don't live in a population dense city with heaps of gyms close together, the closest city to me an hour away has gyms spread out over a couple hundred kilometers, making it impossible to raid more than one. Or 2 if you're lucky, in a couple of hours on foot. So instead, everyone does their raid trains in their cars to get 5 to 10 done over the 6 to 8 hours. There's no community, no meeting people, no social interactions. This has become very normal for every single Shadow Raid weekend. I agree, it's the same here, especially during the winter. Like, the Shadow Raids, if you really want to get people together for the Shadow Raids, or any sort of raiding, you have to make it a raid day or a raid hour. But the Shadow Raids, when they appear on the weekends, they're so spread out, it's so hard for people to really grind out efficiently a lot of them together. So it ends up just being like a car grind, or like, maybe there's like a group that joins, but you guys do maybe like 2 or 3 because walking between them is so far. So I fully agree. I think Niantic should add, or just make them make them raid days, make them raid hours, make them like 2 raid hours Saturday, Sunday, or 2 raid days Saturday, Sunday, and then you can get your raids done. I agree. I think that would be great. Okay, one more question, or one more comment. Daxie, please remind Niantic about the disabled and serious medical issues. As a cancer patient, my oncologist doesn't want me to go out with hordes of people in the summer heat. I go when it's cooler at night. I will, Geek Babe. I've actually already mentioned this a lot because that was something I experienced as well. I was a cancer patient at one point too, so this was a huge issue for me. And again, going back to it, like, I'll mention to Niantic, but the question is, do they want to support accessibility? Time will tell, I guess. Time will tell. Okay, we got one more question. John Smith. I really love Daxie, but man, this one was hard to watch. His grammar is terrible. I agree, but that's just me. His random side rants, and oh, there's a squirrel right there, random ADHD outbursts and getting sidetracked has been getting really badly. He is struggling to get out his full thoughts and doesn't plan on what he's trying to say before he starts recording. Feels very lazy lately. I really hope he starts to focus and plan his videos better beforehand. Don't want to keep seeing him getting lazier and lazier, slowly making his videos hard to watch. Thank you, John, for the feedback. This is what I'm going to say about this comment. Okay, first of all, my grammar sucks, and I have ADHD, and I have random side rants, but that's just me. And I think that's really the point of these types of videos that I really wanted to do is literally the whole point of this video, these YAP sessions, is no planning. So I don't think, John, the alignment of what you're looking for versus the alignment of what these videos are, I don't think is there. Because the whole reason I wanted to start dropping these videos is so I could just fully be myself, fully randomly talk, fully randomly get sidetracked by random things, and just be myself. And that's just kind of who I am. Sometimes I get sidetracked. Sometimes my thoughts don't come out correctly, or they come out with like breaks in between because I get sidetracked. And that's just kind of who I am. If that's something you don't enjoy, we have more strictly planned videos on the channel. Think about it. I drop 1 YAP session every single week, but I drop 3 other videos that are more structured and planned. And I think that's kind of like the whole point of these types of videos, is for me to just randomly get my thoughts out. Randomly, sometimes I get if you notice, sometimes I get my thoughts out and then I realize how wrong that thought was and I go back. And that's just kind of like how it is. And that's like learning and, I guess changing and growing your brain. Make sense? And that's kind of the point, John Smith. Now, I do plan these videos roughly, as you can see by my notes, but I'm not going to... If that's what you're looking for, John, I recommend you watch the other videos on the channel. And yeah, sorry, my grammar sucks. It's just kind of like, I was never good at English, to be honest. But I think, honestly, I'm not sorry, actually. I'm not sorry, because it's just me. And I think this is a good lesson for anyone. If you guys are in a creative space, or is anyone ever telling you like, hey, this sucks, or, this is not good enough? I think there's a difference between criticism and there's a difference between... straight up just like, not enjoying something specifically, if that makes sense, And I think that's kind of like, you kind of have to stand strong, and that's what I'm going to do right here. Like, John, I'm sorry you don't like how unplanned and how rough these are, but this is kind of like what I enjoy to do, and this is kind of like the whole point of these videos. So I recommend you go watch the other videos, and I'm going to stand strong, and I'm going to continue to do these because I enjoy these, and a lot of people do enjoy when I randomly talk about the dog that just randomly passed by. If you don't enjoy it, I'm sorry about it. go watch a more strict planned video. There's plenty of content out there. And I think that's a very good lesson as well. If you're watching somebody and you don't enjoy what they're doing or that specific type of content, I recommend not watching it. Anyway, that's just a random therapy session. Stay strong to your values. And my values are that I enjoy how much I have ADHD and yap and randomly have sidetracks because it's just kind of like who I am. I'm not going to change myself, you know? Sorry, that sounded a little bit cocky. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be cocky out here. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, different types of content on the internet, find what you enjoy, and be yourself. Be yourself. Don't let anyone tell you not to be yourself. But yeah, thanks for the feedback, John. I appreciate it. I will try to roughly plan a little bit better the videos. But again, at the end of the day, I like having no plan. I like my thoughts kind of just flowing randomly. I think it makes it fun. Anyway, I think I'm yapped out. The yap meter is running low. Drop your comments, guys, in the comment section below. What do you think about the Team Rocket bands and all that stuff? I'm going to make a video on the Niantic Terms of Service for next week. So that'll be next week's Yap session. Stay tuned. Actually, before I end the video, super exciting news. Grass is right here. No. Super exciting news. I really wait till the end to talk about this. The Japan trip is live. Yes, a lot of people know about the Mexico trip that unfortunately got canceled because we didn't get enough people to get the group prices. So I want to try one more time for a destination that I think is more popular among Pokemon Go players, Japan, specifically Tokyo and Nagano. It's going to be a 7-day trip in March to Japan, a group trip. So you're going to come, you're going to fly out, I'm going to fly out, other people are going to fly out. It's going to be a group trip, up to 24 people. We're going to see how many people actually end up signing up. But if you are interested in being one of those people, coming and enjoying the experience, there's going to be plenty of activities. Not only are we going to be like visiting local things in Japan, trying the food, we're going to be going to see snow monkeys in Nagano. We're going to go to an onsen. We're going to go visit Shibuya, different places in Tokyo. And then we're also going to obviously play Pokemon Go, obviously. I also do plan on adding everybody who does go on the trip so we can all kind of party up and raid together. Obviously, we can trade Pokemon when we're there. Just like, it's going to be 7 days of Pokemon Go in Japan. It's going to be absolute blast. So if you're interested in that, the tickets are on sale now. It's actually the first 10 people to buy the ticket are going to get $200 off. Sorry, why did I just lose my thoughts? $200 off if you want to buy the ticket. The first 10 people to buy the ticket, and then after that, I think it goes up to $200. But we were able to bring the price down. A lot of people, when I first announced this trip, were saying $3,500 is a little expensive. I was able to bring it down to, I think it's like $3,000. It's like $3,350 right now. I'm not sure. Anyway, link below. All the info is there. The itinerary every single day. What's going to be happening every single day. The dates. What's included. What isn't included. Like literally all the info is below. Click the link. Check it out. Let me know if you're interested. If you are interested and if you have questions, go ahead and hit me on Twitter or DM in the DMs. Twitter or DM. Did I just say Twitter or DM? Twitter or Instagram in the DMs. Let me know you're interested. Let me know if you're going to be coming, and I will chat in there about what we're going to do and stuff. And if you have questions, let me know as well. Like if you're a little bit on the fence, not sure about certain aspects of the trip, about sleeping arrangements, different stuff like that, like literally anything, just DM me. I'm answering all DMs about the trip right now. So again, super excited for the Japan trip. We already have some bookings in, so it's looking like it's going to happen. And I don't know, I'm just super excited to go back to Japan, and I'm super excited to bring you guys to Japan, anyone who wants to come, because honestly, Japan is a once-in-a-lifetime place to visit, and I think as a Pokemon Go place to play as well, it is literally top in the world. And honestly, just like as a culture, it's just such a unique culture. The food is so good. Oh my God. Sorry, I'm just thinking of sushi in Japan right now, and I'm just, oh! Okay, sorry. Anyway, Japan trip, link below, check it out. Comment below, guys, your thoughts. We'll yap to you guys next week about the Niantic Terms of Service. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one, yappers. Follow for more tips. Peace!